Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I want to welcome you to another drawing lesson from the sketchbook. This time we're going to be doing a pine cone. Just a simple pine cone. But it's probably the hardest lesson in the entire sketchbook so far. And it's not that it's hard, it's that you have to be able to trust that it's going to work out. Come with me and I'll show you how to work this one out. I wanted to do a little study of a pine cone. And pine cones are not as thought about for the autumn, but that's when they start falling off the trees a lot, especially with the windstorms that we've been having around. So I've been seeing more little pine cones, and I wanted to draw one up, especially since it's time for me to start practicing some of these things that I want to draw more of for the holiday season, for the winter season. So this pine cone is basically an egg shape. This is not one of those really long ones or one that has tight, the petals of the cone are not all tight. They've actually opened up and the seeds have been dropped out of them already. But I'm trying to figure out the order that I want to do it with the pen. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that, and I'm not going to draw it in so much, but I might do a little dashed line. The petals sort of spiral around, or not really spiral around, but they kind of open in a diagonal going around the cone. And I hadn't really noticed that before. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then as you get to the bottom, they sort of flatten out. And the dotted lines, those are going to disappear. By the time I'm done, you won't even see those anymore. And this gives me a little bit of an area or a way to think about how I'm going to lay this in. Now at the tip up here, there's like these little points that are like little ends that are laying over. And then there's another petal that's coming up. I don't really want to be doing dashed lines now. I want to actually start putting in some of the real lines. And a lot of this, you see these top parts, but as it goes down, you lose those petals, the arms of the petals. So let's see, that one kind of comes out that way, curves, comes back. There's another little bit right there. I am looking at a reference. This type of a thing, until you really know what you're looking at, you really want to have some references. And so I've got my reference today off of Pixabay, which is a free for artist use type picture sharing site. And let's see, right across here. So going this way and across, and then it's sort of shaped like that. I'm not going to worry too much about getting the base of those petals in yet. I think I need to just look at this and actually put in the parts that stand out the most. And I'm probably going to disregard those dotted lines. I don't know that they're actually going to help me much. I may have, done more work than I needed to. So there's sort of a triangle end and a bit that comes back like that for this one because it's a side view. And kind of the same thing right here. There's going to be sort of a triangle end, a side to it, and a bit of the top showing up. And then as I come down and out, there's sort of a triangle. And it kind of comes back like that. There's one that's a little bit lower. It has an end that comes up, and then it sort of strikes back like that and makes almost a wedge. Doesn't look like much right now, does it? That's one of the things when you put things in and you're sort of blocking it in, that it doesn't look like much. And you start getting scared. Oh no, am I doing it wrong? Don't worry about it. Don't fuss. Don't fuss and fume. It's not, well, one, it's not the end of the world if you did put it in a weird way. Pine cones are a natural product, and you can fudge a whole lot. And you can start to make things up. Once you get an idea of what you're looking at, you can actually start to make things up a little bit. Like, I sort of tipped mine. So this bottom bit is going to end up getting sort of made up a little bit. Have kind of a bit of a stem on it where it came off the tree. I like that. Okay, so now we've got that one. We need kind of like that one. And there's going to be gaps. There's going to be spaces. And that's all part of being a natural thing. So there's that one. Then there's going to be a big one right here. And then there's going to be a big one kind of across like this, going in front of that one. And they're just so amazing. I mean, you think of all the things that are out there. There are pine trees and fir trees and all of these things that have cones on them. See, I kept working that, going, oh yeah, that's not quite right. There's all of these plants that have cones. There's even some that they have to go through a fire before the cones can open and drop seed. That is a totally amazing thing of nature. Working things out so that it comes at the time when it's needed. So some of these are going to get scooped down and some are going to go up. Now, again, that doesn't look like much, does it? But we are going to start putting in some of the little branchy bits. How about the bottom parts of the petals? Boy, you know, Be really good if I could learn to talk someday, huh? So some of these have little spiky bits. Actually, a lot of them have little spiky bits. And as we go in, the bases of the petals are in from the top of the petal. So it's like it's coming out like this. And this is the front of the petal, and then as you go back, it gets smaller. And they're all going back in to the inside and attaching. See, I think there's going to be another little bit right there. There's these petal bits here. You see how it's starting to come together as actual pinecone petals? And the pinecones are the carrier for the seeds. The pinecones are basically like the flower. And then the seeds grow inside of the pinecone. Oh, that is looking good. Yay! All right. So now what I'm going to do is deep inside, I want to get some of these petals, and I'm using the brown, the sepia brown, to start coloring in the petals. And then what I'll do is I will take a little bit of my black to go inside into the really deep bits if I need to. And I think I might, because there are some spaces here. Or I'll try and leave a little bit of light. You know, you can just sort of adjust as you're going along. It's like, yeah, maybe I won't need to use the black. There we go. You see, this is actually going together really quite quickly. And it's one of those things the pinecone is sort of one of those plants or natural piece, one of those pieces of nature that you just have to trust that it's going to work out. Just believe in yourself. You can make it happen. See? There we go. Aren't those starting to look like they're coming out over the front? I like that I'm leaving some spaces with white so that the petals in here look like they can be separated a little bit. They don't all have to be completely dark. Especially these ones that looked like they had more three-dimensional petals. There we go. But where the backside or lower part of a petal crosses with another front, like this one right here, you want to make sure that it's dark so that that part that's crossing in front actually can look like it's crossing in front. But don't forget to leave yourself some spaces inside where light can be coming through between the petals. See, look at that. And that one is going all the way up like that. And this one's going up to that point there. See, a lot of it is like little puzzles. Pinecone is like a little puzzle. It's kind of fun to solve a puzzle every once in a while. You know, where you go, all right, this piece goes with that one. And that piece goes over there. So if I follow this down, that's all one piece. You know, that's kind of how you piece together a regular jigsaw puzzle, right? There we go. Oh, that's looking nice. I am really very pleased with that. You know, remember, this is a sketch. This isn't a finished drawing. This doesn't have to be perfect. I drew this without a pencil and an eraser. You can certainly grab a pencil and an eraser and make yourself up some pine cones. Look at that. Now, some of these on the top, I'm going to make some little divots by just stippling. And maybe even putting like a little line. Not a hard line, but sort of a line that just makes you think, oh, that dropped down in front. Maybe I'll draw that on here, on this one. And just make some little cross hatches or some little hatching lines. Oh, that works on those, for sure. Maybe the hatch lines. I kind of like those. See, you work things out as you're going along. And even though I ended up not using those little dotted lines, they went away all the way anyway. They went away all the way anyway. Sorry. I am just, you know, it's time to be silly. There we go. Oh yeah. All right. So I hope that you're enjoying this. If you are, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure that you click the bell so that you'll be notified when new videos go up. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And if there's anything that you would like to see me try to draw, please leave that in the comments below. I would love to do something that you're interested in. Do you have any things for winter that you would like to see me try and draw? And as always, go out, do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye-bye.